Welcome, everyone, to the official chapter live stream. And today we are basically discussing Legend's lifestyle is why is Midnight a liar? Now, for it to be simple, it's kind of a reason why. He kind of did some no-no things, and he got cancelled for it for the official reason. Yet for the fact that he tries to cover up about what he did and not give the context about it, makes me feel like he's basically doing this just to gain sympathy. Well, not for me and not for everyone else. Well, for this, I decided to go and show his very recent video. And let me just switch it over to the live screen. Real quick. Oh, sorry. Yeah, with the title of Why Getting Cancelled is the Best Thing That Happened to Me. Not sure if it was a cry for help or a thing of please forgive me. But anyway, we're gonna look at the video and dissect all of the things he has claimed.
Okay, I know that title's a lot. That's a statement. That's a hell of a statement. But watching this video, it's gonna be, I mean, you can already tell, it's gonna be a longer video. I want you to just listen.
Notice how he says it was a longer video. Yet, for the same times when he did his apology videos, they were short as hell. And by the way, you cannot search them, but thanks to re-uploads, we can still remember you are still being a selfish bastard. You're still being a selfish person, Minnie. And that's a cowardly move to do.
To everything I have to say. And then at the very end up, you can make whatever opinion you want. I'm also going to preface this in saying that this is my experience of the last 2 years.
2 years? 2 years? Minnie, that thing came out in 2020. It wasn't only until August that you started uploaded and people called you out for it. They called you out because you were not taking the initiative, which would have been to stop uploading videos immediately and then go to therapy straight away or a jail cell until those improvements shown. So no, Lenny, that wasn't 2 years. It was only a couple of months. It was only for a couple of months, and then you decide to come back.
So, with all that in mind, this is going to be kind of a podcast. I'm going to ramble, so if there's random cuts here and there, you're missing nothing. I'm going to miss stuff.
Rambles. Well, like you did with your previous apology videos.
Because that's kind of the nature of this video. And I feel like as time goes on, at the end of the video, I also want to tell you kind of what plans are and just where I am. And
no one cares about your plans and where you're going on. They just want you to explain what you did, which you kind of did poorly. And most of them also want you to leave the platform, which is what you should be doing. You should be respectable about what you're doing. If you care about your fans, of your previous fans, you should have known that you shouldn't be doing these actions. And you should be taking the time off the platform to begin with.
And where we are going forward. I say we. It's me. Let's be honest here. It's just me.
Yeah. You're saying it's just we? No one is gonna help you, Minnie. You have nobody to stand on. Only you are yourself to blame for this.
God, where do I begin? So why do I believe what the title says? Now, I understand that getting in a situation like I managed to get myself in is a very
Get in a situation where you have been. Why didn't you tell everyone what you did, Minnie? Why didn't you tell everyone what exactly you done? But oh no, you ain't gonna do that. Cause you ain't truthful. You won't always be the liar, Minnie. That's all you do from the start.
very rare thing. Because whenever you get cancelled, a lot of people just keep on keeping on, right?
What? Like you did with your previous photos of with you continuously uploading things like nothing ever happened. Oh shoot. Like you previously did. You kept uploading videos like it always wasn't there. Sorry. That's what I call bullshit.
I didn't do that as such. I panicked.
What? You called continuing upload schedule like nothing ever happened as a panic situation. I hate to see what happens if you just do something useful.
I froze, and I did, which, you know, it was, I mean, let's be honest. If you manage to get yourself in the situation I'm in, which, as a side note, I believe that if you are getting into
Yes, Minnie. But you know the problem is? People always get cancelled for saying things like, oh, I said this swear word. So like this. Some people manage to get cancelled for a reason. One is because they do not belong on a platform. And you prove that you do not belong on that platform, Minnie. Simple as that. Always and will be.
content creation, and you get to a certain point, everyone is going to get canceled, whether it's major or minor, at some point in their career.
Yeah, the major thing is basically soliciting minors and basically coerce them for sexual activities and try to blame them to be kept silent by no commit, no word. No life, basically.
That's just the nature of how society is right now. But I'm a great example of what not to do. And I want this to be a learning process, okay? I could have handled it like a man. Can I say that nowadays? I don't know.
Well, technically you didn't handle it like a man because you basically kept denying all of it when you could have just, simply told people what had happened. But you didn't. You didn't do it. And hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm going to go for a bit of an intermission for a bit. Sorry, I'm just going to bring something up. Okay, so fixed. Yeah, basically you try to keep a upload schedule like nothing ever happened. And look how it got you. All of them were disliked bomb. To fuck. Whew. Pardon me.
I'm going to say it anyway. I handled it. I should have handled it properly.
But you didn't. You didn't do it. You basically plugged your ears and just went la 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 la. I can't hear you. I can't see the drama. I don't care about the drama. Hell. Well, just for this. Let's show you all of the... Yeah. Coming from the guy who should have handled it, and yet you basically just told your Discord mods, like, you think the subreddit should remain closed until you come back. Which is this week, the drama. You wanted the drama to be drowned out. You basically want people to basically... to realize that the majority didn't care and didn't know, and you wanted brands to keep working with you. Well, sorry. Life ain't gonna go well for you. You got called out, and a lot of your brands have left. You do not have any brands left because of your actions. If you could have just, you know, took time to work on yourself, and basically not return to the platform for, like, I would say a couple of years, or a couple of days, weeks, months, etc. Let's just say you could have just come back in 2023. That would give you a lot of time to think about what you did and how you could have improved it. But no, you didn't. You basically said you were going to take therapy, then came back the month after just to upload a Minecraft video. That didn't feel genuine, Mini. And how come this video you're saying that getting cancelled is the best thing ever to happen to you? When you got cancelled for a reason because you had allegations against you for a reason. And I'm pretty sure that those people you hurt don't want to see your face on this platform again. On any other platform. You lost that right. You lost that right to become a content creator the moment you did those. Let's continue.
But I froze, and I mean, the first thing I put out on Twitter, I just left it to my PR team. I was like, hey, I am fucking scared. So for months, I just froze.
For months, you just froze. I'm sorry. But with these videos, I'm calling bullshit for them. If these were all froze, well, you just froze, wouldn't it have been simple not to post content during that time? Until your PR team charges them. Which, let's be honest, if you're one of Mini's PR team, you would have just dropped them on the spot and just said, "I'm sorry, I cannot work with you. You have a messed up personality, and you shouldn't be doing this."
There's a bunch of points I would like to make in this video, and the majority of them have come from just having 2 years of just really harsh therapy. Not
2 years of harsh therapy. Mini, I don't care if you're going to therapy. Just talk about what you have to say. So, no one is care about your therapy sessions. No one ever wanted you to say about your therapy sessions. Hell, I probably think of people with mental health issues would say, I don't care about your... Basically, you gain sympathy for pity points of therapy. Listen, to the people out there, if you have issues, please seek them out. Please seek out the help you need, if it be friends, family, or loved ones. Please take the time, talk to them, and say, like, I need help. And if you do have a therapy session, best luck to you. I highly respect a person who's going through something. We're all in this together. Except for this guy. This guy can basically just, be sent to the rank up pit.
Not just therapy sessions, but also like even what I did to a few weeks ago, I disappeared into the woods by myself for a few days, and
You disappeared to the woods a few days. Would have made good content. Actually, that should have been the place you better have stayed.
I just wrote. That's all I did. I've been doing things like that a lot. I go to coffee shops. I have a diary that I write in every day. Hold on. I think for an important video, I would plan this, but I wanted to just riff and just talk from my heart and me compared to just a script. That doesn't seem right. This is my journal that I write in every day, every other day.
You have a journal to write every day. Why don't you open that up, Minnie, and show us what you've been writing? Or is it just going to be filled up with blank pages of you not saying, I did nothing wrong, I did nothing wrong, I did nothing wrong, I did nothing wrong? Because technically, that seems more inexcusable for you, I would say. It's more line of you just using this as a cover-up story. When you could have just, explained that you had a journal and just moved on to the actual thing. So what was that you guys said?
I've been doing things like that a lot. I go to coffee shops. I have a diary that I write in every day. Hold on. I think for an important video, I would plan this, but I wanted to just riff and just talk from my heart and me compared to just a script.
Yes, Minnie. You talking to the man of your heart. Like, that ain't gonna work. You could have just had a script prepared immediately after this video. On this video. You could have just talked to it instead of just babbling on about what you're doing, how you're doing it. You could have just had a script that kept you on point. You could have kept it narrow, straight to the point, and then that's it. Move on. But no. You just basically said, I'm talking to the thing of my heart. Yeah, bullshit.
That doesn't seem right. This is my journal that I write in every day, every other day. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I forget. That's just me being honest. Write diaries. Who would have thought? Physically writing stuff is so therapeutic. I sit on my balcony and I just write. Whether it's 2 pages, 4 pages, 6 pages, whatever's going on in the day. It can be as simple as whatever TV show you're watching.
Alright. If anyone's in chat, let's do a little thing. How much do you think Milad is writing in his diary? It can be in the comments, it can be in the chat. For me, I think it's 0. I think it's just the bare minimum. It's not even 1 page. So, yeah. Being harsh? Yep, I am kind of being a bit harsh. But it's how people are perceived. Let's begin.
Just write and just get into a process of having a way to just let things out, even if it's so mundane. Because as life is...
Hold on. 1 second. Is it missing a bit? Alright, I'm back.
Things aren't mundane all the time. You know, life happens. Whether it's deaths or accidents or whatever it may be.
Even if it may be basically you trying to hide what you actually did, instead of just like, addressing it fully. You're really good at talking out of your ass, Minnie. It's so painstakingly obvious you do.
Write that down. Get in the process of it. Seriously. What I did for a long time as well is I did a video journal. And a video journal is fantastic because I was so used to being a YouTuber that I just put my camera to my face and I vlog for like 10, 20, 30 minutes, depending on what it was. And that was just a way to just help get things out. Oh, my knees. I'm so sorry for my banged up knees. Jesus, oh my God. I just like sitting like this. I'm comfortable.
And you doing your video vlogs. Yet you do not show that. Wait, didn't you on Instagram basically said that you off when you got your therapy sessions and your how to solve it that you would do diary journals going through what you were doing? So what happened to that, Minnie? What happened to basically going through that with the video log journals on Instagram? Oh, because you thought if you posted one video, that was it. You could have just said, done, wipe my hands clean of it. That ain't how it works, Minnie. That ain't how surely it fucking works.
I'm a anxious being, so I like fetal position. I feel comfy here. I wanted this video to kind of let you know of the things that I've learned over the last 2 years. And admittedly, these are things that have happened to me. I'm in a very, very weird circumstance right now in life. But there may be like little tidbits here and there that you can apply to your own lives. And even if it helps one person, to me, that's the most important thing. I'm able to let people know where I am, which is great, because I want to get back into this stuff, regardless of money or not.
Regardless of money or not. And helping people out. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest basically having advice from you, Minnie, knowing what you did. Most people would have just said like they're feeling down, they might got cancelled for saying the swear words, the no words, or had tweets that would probably be like that. Not once did people would have just, not once would people probably mention you, ever. They probably just mention your name as in disgust, Minnie, of what you did, which is simple. Why do you think people like us are still reminding people what you actually did? How you're not addressing these things, and how you are taking advantage of your fan base when you're not addressing them. Oh, excuse me. Just grab myself something to drink. Okay, let's continue.
But if I'm able to help people along the way, then it's an absolute win for me. A lot of topics I'll be getting into is a lot of the things I've been talking about with my therapist for the last few years. Admittedly, I've had technically 3, but 2 main ones. I had one for like 2 weeks, and then I swapped that therapist out, got another therapist. I had her for a year, but then there was a rule where I had her when I was in LA and I moved to Texas. And then during COVID, there was a time where she could help me, even though it was outside of her state because of weird COVID regulations. Whenever that got cut off, I got myself a Texas therapist. Okay, so I'm editing this, and I just forgot a really valid point that I wanted to bring up. That if you're gonna get a therapist, don't be afraid to change therapists. A therapist is someone that you're going to spill your entire life to. The stuff that you've been hiding away from everyone in your life, you're going to spill to this person. So make sure that this is someone that you're comfortable with.
Are you also telling your therapist what you did? Because it's simple. If a therapist knew what you did, and if your therapist actually knew what you did, they would have told you to stay the fuck away from YouTube, so you won't get the chance to do it again. And so you won't fall to those fatalities of your sins.
Make sure they're like a friend. because even a friend, right? You're only gonna tell them, a best friend, 95% of the stuff. There's still stuff that you would never tell them, but you need to be able to feel really, really comfortable with your therapist to make sure that you can get the benefits of therapy, like the real deep, deep benefits. And that's why I honestly think it takes a good 4 to 8 sessions to feel fully comfortable before you can get into the big stuff. And long-term therapy, you know, one thing I've had with my therapist is they write a lot of stuff down, and we'll just have conversations. And it could just be about nothing. My therapist also likes climbing, so we talk about climbing a lot, and then random tidbits will come up, and she'll be like, wait, what you just said is different than what I have written down here that you said 5 months ago. What happened during that time for you to change this opinion? And that's where therapy really comes into play. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and I'm going to get back to previous Craig. Okay, thanks. But I've been in therapy the last 2 years straight, and let me tell you, oh boy, is it a great time. It's some sessions, you think, I'm having a good time, everything's fine, but you need to go anyway. Because for me, I always thought of going to my therapist on a good day as like showing her what my good side is like where I feel free and happy, because it's not always going to be that way. So a lot of the topics that I'll be talking about is things that I've learned in therapy, and hopefully you can take some of it into your own lives. There's a cut there because I said that 3 times. It's been a while since I've done this. Anyway, and for those who don't even know me, really, I've been doing YouTube now on this Mini Lad channel since 2011. My career blew up in about 2013, GTA 5. I went to college the first week that GTA 5 came out. And that's when all of our careers, me and the guys who I used to play with, our careers all blew up. I remember even Nogla talking to my mom whenever I was in university saying, hey, there's a really good opportunity here for Craig. We think that, you know, it's in your best interest to let Craig have a year to figure it out. And that was the year that changed everything, you know? That was 9 years ago. Here's what I noticed as well, is because I started to blow up right at the end of high school going into college, me in high school specifically, I was friends, here's how I put it. I was friends with everyone, but never best friends with anyone. And that kind of left me enough room to be able to, you know, start a YouTube channel and do the things I want to do. But diving in deeper, one thing I realized is because of this, I was in a constant state of proving myself.
What on earth were you talking about proving yourself? You could have just said simple of just have a good time with YouTube. YouTube back in probably 2013 was the time when you could have just done simple content for it. You could have just had fun. You didn't need to do like whole money thing or something like that. Well, probably you had to do, but you had to get teammates sponsored or partnerships from companies. But you would have had a best time. You could have just spent half time playing video games. That was what YouTube was during that time. It was whole video game sessions. Sometimes music, sometimes stuff. You could have just had fun with those.
And what that means is because I was never best friends with anyone, I was constantly on edge trying to make sure I could say something funny, do something, or, you know, just interact with these people around me so they wouldn't kick me out of whatever friend group I was in. And I was just so used to just proving myself, like, please let me stay. And that, because I went straight from my school years into my YouTube years, that never left. And I didn't know that until, during these last 2 years. I literally had to reinvent myself, and I had to figure out every little piece of the puzzle. Like, everything that has went wrong in my life, I had to look at, pinpoint, and say, why? So that carried over into my YouTube life. And I was in a group of about 8 to 10 guys. And at all times, we were all just cracking jokes, having fun. And it was, for so many years, it was so much fun. But eventually, after a while, that side of my brain caught up to me. And instead of having fun, I felt like I was just back into a constant state of proving myself. Because I knew that I wasn't the biggest in the group. I knew that, I was down the pecking order as far as subscribers, views, relevancy, whatever. So I kind of felt like I just had to keep proving myself. And I kept hitting this wall that I couldn't get past because I realized like I'm funny, but I'm not the funniest. You know, I never had like a character like the other guys had. I felt outside of it.
So you were trying to basically break out of the thing of Thanos gaming, which you could have just said like, hey, I feel like that, which you kind of did. You went to prove, basically, you kind of broke away from the group, basically try to prove yourself, but at the same time, you basically talk shit about your friends, and then basically just saying that basically you talk shit about your friends multiple times, saying that all you played was Fortnite and Gmod, which you kind of did previously because you're a gaming channel. What else did you expect?
And that was one of the big reasons why I left and why I wanted to kind of do my own stuff, because I kept hitting this wall where I wanted to prove myself, and I was like, well, if I break away, I'll be able to prove myself. And I went about it the wrong way, where I was so focused on making sure that people wouldn't leave. This is a quote that I thought of that makes so much sense to me. Every day I cared so much about proving myself and trying not to make this career go away that in turn I lost my mind and I let my career go away. That to me was the foundation to add pieces of this puzzle up. And what do I mean by that? This is a really competitive space. YouTube nowadays, it's really, really competitive. And I always try to just stay above the curve, transition between whether it's games or Reddit Reacts or meme streams or Call of Duty, transition, and that was the foundation to add pieces of this puzzle up. And what do I mean by that? This is a really competitive space. YouTube, this puzzle. That turn, I lost my mind and I let my career go away.
You let your career go away, but you also let your money dictate what you did, which was basically getting freaky with a minor. 2 minors to be in fact. That was simple. No ifs, no buts. That's what you did.
That to me was the foundation to add pieces of this puzzle up. And what do I mean by that? This is a really competitive space. YouTube nowadays, it's really, really competitive. And I always try to just stay above the curve, transition between whether it's games or Reddit Reacts or meme streams or Call of Duty or whatever it may be, that I was so focused on that I never had time to myself. And this is leading into a bigger conversation that I want to have in this video, which is the mental state of a lot of creators. What do I mean by that? I honestly believe that it's the same as like, you know, Disney stars and things like that, right? Where if you blow up whenever you're younger, you don't have enough time to grow as a person before your life gets taken out of your hands. My life was so focused on making sure I had content every day, that things didn't go away, that I didn't have time to grow as a person.
Well, I kind of agree with that. You could have just had time to spend time to basically hang out with your friends. Basically not upload content basically about like days and days, which you kind of did. But you could have just spent time basically like hanging out with friends, basically getting to know them better, or basically bettering your relationships so you don't have rocky terms. But no, you didn't. You failed to realize that.
There's a banger quote whenever Rob Lowe went on the Joe Rogan podcast. Say whatever you want about Joe Rogan. It's not about him, it's about Rob. And Rob Lowe is this guy you probably know from Parks and Rec, but he's been a celebrity, you know, since he was like 15 years old back in the 70s or 80s. And he said a quote that stuck with me. And that says, "From the moment you become famous, your mental state gets frozen in carbonite." What does that mean? That means that from the very second that you become famous, or all of a sudden your life gets taken out of your hands because of responsibilities outside of your control, you don't have enough room or space to grow anymore. For me, for example, because I was one of the only ones out of the group that really showed my face earlier on, I got recognized a lot. And, 2019, 2020, I was getting recognized every time I...
2020. Yeah, you kind of got called out for being... Probably people who are fans of you and Minilad would have pointed out, like, hey, it's Minilad, the pedophile, or the pedo, the PEDO, the guy who literally touched kids. Kids, mate, you kind of backed yourself into the corner with that one. Like you literally just did. Simple as that. Nothing to the point.
I left my apartment and my house. So I always felt like I had to put up this front. And especially living in LA, you always hear about how LA can make or break you. I thought I had it under control. For the longest time, I was like, I got this. I'm not letting LA take control of who I am. What it did, though, is I didn't have enough time to grow myself. So all of a sudden, everything that was around me became what I was. Down to the clothes I wore, which I wore very different clothes growing up. All of a sudden, I tried to wear whatever I thought was cool. I bought things that I thought that would lead to people liking me. Should I have bought... I was 22 years old when I bought a $3.2 million house and a Ferrari in the same month. And I bought that Ferrari outright. And I realized that is an awful idea. Who would have thought? Because of the foundation of just trying to prove to people that I want to be something, I realized that I started to buy things where I didn't have enough confidence in my own personality. So I was like, well, if I buy these nice cars and these nice houses and I dress well and I have the nicest designer shoes, Gucci hoodies, whatever it may be, that maybe people will like me for the things that I have compared to the content of my character. That was another door open. And again, this is things that I've learned in therapy. I think everything that I've learned, I'm not going to be able to tell all in this video. It's just going to be little tidbits throughout, future videos, which we'll get to in a bit. But especially when I lived in that house, this is a 4,200 square foot house. This was, the whole bottom floor was just open and empty and hollow. And I'm a Northern Irish farm town boy, right?
Newsflash, you ain't fucking Irish. Well, your family are, but you mostly don't. You're English, you stupid idiot. Oh, so you letting your money thing, the sign thing, you could have just, basically saved all of that for basically future charities and stuff. Minnie, you could have just, I know you were, during that time you had a lot of money to basically buy stuff that you want, but you could have just had the chance to basically save stuff for food, electricity bills, and water. Pet insurance. Oh, hell. With the YouTube thing of basically uploading, you could have just spent time with Sammy, improving your relationships, which, by the way, you could have just simply took a day off YouTube to spend time with her, but nope. You didn't. You just kept uploading and basically did those things. So, I don't get why you do telling me all of this when you could have just done... which was simply not upload for this video. You could have just simply not upload with this and just kept on being silent, or basically kept on having it. Or you could just announce that you were on a break until everything you have been sorted out and figure out what you have to do, which is simple. Very simple. You could have just left and come back until a year, which I said again.
I'm used to family and tradition and... I hate every time I say family, I think of Vin Diesel. God damn it. Family and tradition and just working off each other's backs, and everything is, you care about your little tribe and community around you, and I love that. But from the second that you become a content creator, your privacy really just gets thrown out the window. Like, the amount of stories you hear from YouTubers, TikTokers, whoever it may be, having to say, hey, I appreciate you as a fan, but please don't come near my house. is staggering. There was a story from a YouTuber that I'm not going to say, and I may be butchering this story, but it was something like this. Iranian couple was coming over to the country that this YouTuber was in, and the kid was like, oh, I wanted to meet so-and-so YouTuber. Here's his address. And they went...
Yeah, why are you telling us this? We don't care. Well, if you're doing... Well, basically, I do care. If you're basically following someone, do not try and engage them. This could be bad for you and that person. But why are you talking about this?
On holiday from Iran to this country, and they went out of their way, and they were like, hey, like, can we meet you? Can we do whatever? Be doing this. And they got upset about it. Oh, and you're just gonna, like, disregard him like that? And it's just, there's so much pressure put upon the content creator nowadays. It is unfathomable. Especially because this is something that whenever I used to work a lot with YouTube, like I used to, YouTube used to call me up, and I used to do panels and stuff for YouTube Talk. I remember I had this one with Anthony Padilla. This is 2016, and I was talking like one of the CEOs of Intel and CFOs of other companies and whatever, and we were talking about why brands should promote and make, put adverts on YouTube and have sponsorships and everything. And the example that I use is this. Traditional celebrities, right? Think of my original example was Will Smith, but he's having fun. He'll be fine. You get your Will Smiths or your Justin Biebers or, you have no chance of meeting them. You may love their music, their movies, their, whatever it may be, whatever art they put out. You may really, really like that, but you have little to no chance of meeting them. But the reason why social media blew up is because all of a sudden, the people that you watched, the YouTubers that you watched, you became attached to them. And it became more of like a friend on the couch telling you to do stuff rather than a celebrity, They became friends. So all of a sudden, that security and privacy boundary went out the window. Where you could get families coming to other YouTubers' houses without a worry in the world. There's a million different stories from a million different YouTubers. But basically, the privacy is gone. So getting back to what I was saying, where you can't grow. It is nearly impossible to grow. And I also thought that's why a lot of really, really high-profile people do drugs. Because they have no room in their life to grow as people, but they want to feel that organic happiness. And the only way they can really do that is by taking drugs.
So, what Millard is saying is, if you want to have organic happiness, you should basically snort out and borrow cocaine. Or that many drugs you should take. Kids, don't take advice from him. Do not take drugs. This guy clearly is insane. Or this guy clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. If he just wrote a script, then he could have just knew what he was saying.
Because after a while, like even on my stand-up comedy tour, like I loved every single second of it. But if you're on tour like Metallica has or whatever, like for 40 years, the idea of going on stage just becomes monotonous. It becomes repetitive. It becomes job. It's the age-old cliche saying. I found out cliche sayings, once you actually like experience what they mean, you're like, oh, that makes sense. I realized that life is about the journey. You need to enjoy the ride. You need to enjoy the journey. Don't focus on the destination. An example that I heard was, if you're lost in a forest...
Ride of a journey. Basically what you did, enjoy the ride. Yeah, you basically just did all of that. Yeah, what about basically your previous content when you basically were posting with Terrorizer and stuff? You were well enjoying this. Now, look at you. You're not enjoying it. You look like you're basically begging people to basically watch your videos and forgive you. Which, newsflash, no one's ever going to forgive you either way. I'm sorry, but that's just a simple term word.
You don't know your way out. There's no rivers. There's no anything. You don't know what time of day or night it is. And you feel lost. You don't really know where to go. Instead of worrying about that, if you just take one step at a time, those little steps, you'll eventually, as time goes on, make your way out of the forest. Like, it's little things like that I love. Also, David Goggins, please, if you take away anything from this video, please read this book. I literally have a David Goggins wristband on. Hold on. If you are lost and you don't really know where to start, I don't read. Please, for the love of God, read this or listen to this. I've listened to this book 5 different times. It is about a guy who is 300 pounds working for a place called Ecolab, where he was cleaning out cockroaches. He wanted to change his life around. He needed to lose 110 pounds in 3 months to join the Navy SEALs. I'm not going to ruin the rest of the story for you, but now he is one of the best people as far as...
Nobody cares about your book reading, Mini. Also, no respects to David. Respects to David Goggins. He kind of got he did what he deserves, but me and lad, you're basically giving advice for no apparent reasons. You're not an emotional speaker or anything. You're just a YouTuber.
As motivation goes, because he doesn't just say it, he lives it. I mean, fuck, I got a signed version. This changed my life. This book changed my life, and I'm not a guy who reads. But now I realize I am covered in books. That's what happens when you go off the internet. At the end of the day, I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm a lot further than where I was. I realize that the whole journey of life is to strive for perfection, knowing that perfection doesn't exist. Every day you just do something that's a little bit further towards where you want to be. I mean, David Goggins even says it himself. Do something every day that's uncomfortable. Whether it's working out, whether it's confronting something. He has this thing called the accountability mirror, which you just stare yourself in the mirror, you put post-it notes of the things around you that you want to fix, and you look deep into your eyes and look into your soul and say, who are you? Who are you? And I've cried in front of that mirror many a times, because now and again you'll come across realizations organically. It's just something like the...
Man, I'd crying in the mirror. Look, if you're crying in the mirror, basically trying to take accountability, fair play if you're doing that. Fair play on that. But there's also the fact that you're basically not taking accountability. You could just stare in the mirror like, why did you do it? Why? How can you prove to people that you're changed? Instead of just saying like, who are you? How are you? Which is simple. You're me, lad, the person who groomed minors.
Gym you need to work at. Mental strength, it's just putting your reps in. That's what it is. It's not like I'm going to go 4 sessions of therapy and I'm going to be in tip-top. No, therapy is a lifelong thing. I am now going to therapy every week. I want to for the rest of my life. Because life is the way that it is, you are going to be confronted with things that you don't like. Death. Injury. Things I've said before. Death, something going on with the family, something going on in your personal life. I don't know, like, I had no gas in my apartment for 3 months because of a Texas freeze at the beginning of the year. So I had to make it work, like, there's little things. Maybe big things. But if you're able to work on yourself every single day, you're able to adapt to everything that's around you, because times are moving so fucking quickly that for you to be able to keep up and feel like you're on top of things, you could use a swimming pool analogy, To keep your head above water, to feel like you're not constantly drowning, you need to put the reps in. And you need to be able to adapt to everything that's going on in your life. Because my life went from everything to nothing. If I didn't adapt, I'd be in a fucking psych ward. Maybe dead.
Yeah, you would have been in a psych ward. Yeah, that would have been where you belong. Then you wouldn't have a chance to post content. Which would have been better for the YouTube community, because, hey-o, you could have just had the time to... Hell, they could have even give you free therapy sessions to tell you what you did wrong and how you could have fixed it. They could have just sent you a couple of years ago.
Who knows? I know that's very extreme. You're like, he's just saying that for... It's an example. There is no better feeling than feeling happiness within yourself. And I think... through like the tour, I felt happiness and pride but I've never felt true happiness from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. There's been glimpses of happiness where like happy and then just constantly neutral, and then a little bit more, maybe a little bit down. But now it's just, you want to elevate that. You want to be able to get you need to understand the fundamentals of things that make you happy. Find friends that you're willing to have deep conversations with. I've had 3, 4, 5-hour conversations with people in my life. We call it balcony talks. We put some lo-fi music on the background and we just talk for hours. It doesn't matter who it is. I love conversations in the sense of everyone in life has their own unique story, right? I love that everyone in life has a different way of getting to the place where you managed to meet. But everyone in life has their own unique story. What have they learned from those stories to get them to the place where they are today? And that's why I fell in love with podcasts. Who are you, and how did you become you? I initially tried to come back a month after everything happened. I was told, I listened to the people around me, they're just like, just take a month off and just get back to recording and everything will go away in due time. Just keep uploading. And I remember telling them, like, I don't like this idea, but I'm going to do it because I am panicked and I'm small and I panicked. I really did.
What, you panicked and you basically decided to upload these like nothing ever happened. Literally, your first video back was a Minecraft video. Next was a shitty meme stream video, and then was your clean the air video, which was basically shitting the air because it didn't address anything. Then afterwards, you basically kept uploading with the craziest glitches, North Korea flight simulations, GTA video, or funny videos. Don't make everyone laugh. Or your Reddit reviews. And then your my apology video. You were panicked. Yeah. With the entire video of you just acting like nothing was going on. Hold on. Yeah, like you basically just saying like those things when you could have just, Yeah, that's what I call bullshit.
I handled this so badly. So I kept uploading. And I remember after every time I upload, I would fucking cry. And I would tell my managers, like, I hate every fucking second of this. Why am I doing this? Like,
every second of it?
let me make the apology video and let me just take time to breathe and to grow. And it took me 6 fucking months to get around to that point, to finally break away from just uploading. And, it's not their fault because a lot of people have got through their cancellations by just going through it. But I care a lot about...
Yeah, you wanna know why they got cancelled? It's because they said something bad and they kind of got through it. Case in point, PewDiePie. He got basically cancelled for those things that are kind of like jokes. You Mini Lad, on the other hand, got cancelled because you wanted to fuck your fans. Your kid fans. And this isn't a cancellation. This isn't you getting cancelled and going back to the thing. This is you basically being told you're done, you're cancelled. The cancellation of you being told that you're done. Pack your bags, hang up your boots, get the fuck out of the internet. It's simple as. This is a thing where I would say even let's just say the guy who basically Prime Center, the guy who got cancelled for doing something bad, which was kind of a satire joke, which was Count Dankula. He literally just said on Some Ordinary podcast, it's like there are a lot of things that you could do to get where you get cancelled, where you should hang up the boots or should walk away from there. And you just did something which was proven that you should walk away and never come back. Like, you solicited underage fans of yours. That's the point where people would just say, you're done. You should walk into the sunset and never return back to YouTube. You don't get that second chance, Minnie. Ever.
What people think of me. I made the video and I dipped. And as you could probably tell, I went to work. And what I mean by that is mental training, physical training.
Mental training, aka therapy.
I went to the gym every single day. It was end of October whenever I started to be like, okay, I am really fucking heavy. I'm out of my mind. October 2020 was the worst month of my life by a fucking mile. So the end of October, it was a week before Halloween.
October 2020. Wasn't it the day that Trevor or TJV basically uploaded that Avengers vs. Mainland Part 2 video? So it kind of proved that he kind of watched it and claimed it. Fucking scumbag.
I got onto my Fitness Pal and I was like, fuck, okay, this is the time. I got onto keto. I was 230 whenever I started. I was 265 at my heaviest. I'm now 170. And I worked my fucking ass off. One thing that's changed in my life as well is I was so focused on the destination that I forgot to enjoy the ride. And I know that's super cliche. And I'm aware of that. But if you enjoy the ride of whatever you're doing, the destination that you eventually want to get to will happen on accident. If you want to make YouTube videos, love every fucking second of it. If you want to make music, love every fucking second of it. If you want to be a garbage guy, love every fucking second. And whenever you're passionate about something, people feel that, and it's a vibe. You can see through videos. You can tell when people are just uploading for the sake of uploading. Trust me, very fucking aware, because a lot of the videos that I've made, especially over the last 5 years, I watch them and I'm like, I fucking hated that. That wasn't me.
That wasn't you 5 years ago. When the first time you did that. Oh, huh. No. No, you're not getting away with fucking that easily. Huh. So, you doing all of those. Give me a minute. Just moving down a bit. So, all of those videos, you didn't feel like it. You didn't enjoy it. Sorry, that's what I call still bullshit. It was simple, Minnie. You had a best thing to do. You had the chance to upload content that you had. Simple as that. All of those. You proved that you were having a blast of your time. Now you're telling us that... Oh, what was that?
I watched them and I'm like, I fucking hated that.
You fucking hated these? Fuck you, Minnie. Fuck you. Sorry about getting emotional.
That wasn't me. I was...
Wait. Yeah, and that wasn't you, Minnie. Those were totally you, Minnie. You were enjoying those things. You were spending time with your friends. Basically chatting shit, telling jokes and stuff. That was you, Minnie. Minnie. And you say now that wasn't you. Again, fuck you, Minnie. Fuck you.
Uploading because it was all that I had. I talked to Ty about this before everything happened. I don't understand how I uploaded every fucking day. Every single day having a well-edited video is heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. It is taxing. It is so much fucking work. And you look at the state of what YouTube is now. Or not even YouTube, just the state of content creation. Twitch, there are streamers out there who stream 8-10 hours every day. It's also got to the point where sleep streams became into play. More AVD, average view duration. More AVD, more watch time, more everything. Fuck them, let them sleep. They're like...
Yeah, Twitch is basically the weirdest thing ever now, with hot tub streams and sleep streams. But you saying with Ty's mentor name... Bad Mini. You shouldn't be mentioning other people now, with the reputation that you have.
Ludwig, for example, he streamed for a month straight. There's some people who are currently been live for weeks and weeks.
Didn't Luxstream also did a video basically ranking or listening to all of the bad apology videos of people who got cancelled, and he brought your ass up? Kind of funny that you brought up a thing of him, basically, of him doing his streams, while at the same time he did a video or stream video, basically showing people what you did and how you got cancelled for it.
Weeks on end. Every fucking day, your life, you are living Big Brother. People get to see what you're doing all day, every day. How do you have time to fucking breathe? That's the reason why I stopped streaming. It was so exhausting by the end of it that I just needed to just step away and just catch my fucking breath. The rebuttal of that is all just tell them to take a break. If you're a streamer, the best example of this is whenever Ninja was really in his prime and, you know, he had, 250,000 paid subscribers? I remember he went to some convention or something like that for 2 days. He missed 2 days of streaming and lost 40,000 paid subscribers. If he was on a decent Twitch contract, he might get $3 to $4 per every sub. That is $120 or to $160,000 that he's losing by taking a weekend off. And he was at a gaming convention, so he was still fucking working. Like, there is no room for any YouTuber or Twitch streamer to just breathe, because you get stuck in the cycle. Now, I will say, there are YouTubers who are good at it. I am saying this from a guy who blew up very, very young. And, because I blew up when I was 17.
Yeah, doing things with young. Yeah, I don't care, Minnie. I don't care.
I'm now nearly 30. Me as a person, like, I was still that young kid mentally whilst everything was going on. I went from nothing to making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month as a 22-year-old, 20-year-old. That's not that, like, I had no one really around to help me because I had no other reference point for a regular job. Because I went straight from doing school and after school activities, whether it's rugby or cricket or whatever, directly into making a fuck ton of money and nothing in between. If I had a reference point of like working a regular job, I could tune into that and know that I never want to go back to that. But I didn't. I just had to move. And I was so scared of it all going away that I never gave myself time. I remember actively thinking, this is 2019, this thought. I remember actively thinking, why would I take an hour of my week out to do therapy? Because that... Did that just fall off the wall? It did. I'm keeping this in. Why would I take an hour out of my week to go work on myself when I could be using that hour to better my content, better my whatever, look at emails, go on meetings, do whatever, It's an endless fucking cycle.
Yeah, you did that, and then basically Sammy brought out that you needed to do basically orchestrated e-therapy sessions, and you basically said you didn't want to because you said, in your own words, the therapist, it's a person seen to see who is crazy, which it isn't, Minnie. It isn't, and it's simple. God, you're naive.
that never ended. What's weird as well is because I went through this, like, in my opinion, a radical change, and that's my own personal opinion. The other guy, who I was, it's so hard to remember who I was as a person. I was Mini-Lad through and through. There was no Craig. I was so full on at all times, even down to, like, I want to be able to take a break and go play guitar, do hobbies. But what I realized is whenever your life is who you are as a person, like social media, I could turn anything into a job, right? So I love playing guitar. I fucking love music. But every time I play guitar, I would play for a while, and then I would eventually get to a point where I became really good and I started to write my own songs. And then my brain kicked into gear of like, ooh, now we can release this song, and now we can make more money, and now we can keep things going, and pop. It didn't matter what it was. Fucking hiking, I could be vlogging. Playing guitar, I could be making music. I could be releasing singles. Anything. Carpentry, I could make fucking carpentry videos.
Yeah, you tried to make music videos. Hell, you even made a music channel, which, by the way, you still haven't do anything. I'm probably thinking it's dead in water. Why don't you just delete it? Simple as that. It's always simple.
It didn't matter what it was. Because my career was my life, there was no separation. There was no dividing line for me to figure out me. There was no me. I would say from about 2016, it may have even been the car accident. For those who don't know, I was in a car accident in February 2017. And at that point, I realized I nearly died. Like, I was in intensive care for a week. My buddy Jay, he was in a coma for 3 weeks. The fact that we're both alive is a fucking miracle in itself. But I think that just cranked my worry of it all going away into overdrive. So I just became this fucking machine.
Yeah, Minnie. You basically got in a car accident, which I would say, yeah, you kind of did know it should deserve that. You did have major injuries and you did have a near-death experience. But also, wasn't 2016 also the same day that you basically groomed your first victim? And then basically went on to groom your other victims that came out about you for your actions, and you basically did that. Wasn't also the same day that you broke off with your ex because you were toxic as hell?
I wasn't a person, I just became a content creation machine. And what's interesting is I remember, like, I talked to my therapist about this as well. I remember seeing a lot of comments saying, like, I miss the old Craig. I miss the Craig, pre-accident Craig, that's what it was. I miss pre-accident Craig. And I never understood what they meant, because I'm like, well, I'm still me, so clearly they're fucking wrong.
Yeah, people miss pre-accident Craig because you didn't give a fuck. You were happy about enjoying content making. You were happy basically doing all the stuff that you did. You were basically best friends with fucking Terrorizer. You had the best relationships of it. You had the thing where you actually looked like you were actually a married old couple. You were best friends, talking, making jokes. That was simple. All of that. And then basically you went on to do all of this, and then now you're down this ditch. This huge ditch that you keep digging to yourself more and more.
And what's funny about that is I wish I fucking listened. And I wish I knew from like 2017 onwards I needed to go into therapy. I really did. I knew I needed to. I just didn't. And oh boy, do I fucking regret it. But
fucking regret it now.
I think at the end of the day, through everything that's happened, I could either curl up into a ball, admittedly like I did for months on end after my shit went down, or I could fix it. and I could figure out who the fuck I am. And that's why I've been gone for years at this point. You know, like I haven't been uploading regularly.
You haven't been gone for years. You kept uploading and expecting everyone to forget about it. Why the fuck did you just say you are uploading, you haven't uploaded for years when you clearly did? You basically removed them when you just realized people weren't even forgetting about it. I'm sorry, but I'm calling it BS. Hell, the Discord messages showed it on your Discord group where you basically tried to do it. That's what I call bullshit.
Since June of 2020. It is now June of 2022. The entirety of COVID, I've not been here. Here's an idea that I remember I heard someone in passing say this. And I love this idea. Because at the end of the day, like, Craig, okay, you're saying all this shit, but like, how do you fix it? And the answer is, it's going to be really fucking difficult. And there's never going to be a true answer. It's really going to come down to the person, down to yourself. If you're a content creator or if you do anything, it's really down to yourself. But someone said in passing, and I really thought about this, what if YouTube had a vacation mode? And I remember thinking like, okay, I like this idea, but what does it mean? If you take a week off, YouTube kicks you out of the algorithm, you're fucking washed. That's it. It'll take you months to be able to get back in. I think it'd be sick that if at the top of the banner, it could say, so-and-so is on vacation. And they should have a thing where it says, you can have a comeback date, where it's like, so-and-so will be back 7th of July, 2022. If you want, you can upload a video. And
could have made it 2023 or 2024. Much more better. For therapy sessions and stuff. For you, Mini. That could have been helpful.
And the trailer could be like, if you want to see a sneak peek of their next piece of content that they're doing when they come back, this is it. And it'd be like a 15 second little snippet of whatever is to come. That would give a YouTuber enough peace of mind to be able to go out, go on holiday, which for a lot of content creators does not fucking exist. Holidays, vacations, do not exist. Your vacation holiday is a gaming convention or somewhere where you're still working. You never have time to just disappear. Never. So if you could do that...
You could have just used... There's also the simple thing, home.
Where the algorithm could...
Oh, me. There was actually one thing. You see that little... Wait, you see that little thing here, the community tab? You could have just clicked on that and typed in like, hey, I'm going for that break. Won't be back until that day. That's the fucking simplest answer. I just contradicted your question, you idiot.
Could not throw you out, but just give you a pause. Now, admittedly, like you're not gonna be able to do 3 months, but like a month tops, right? Just pause it. The algorithm's not gonna throw you out. Where as soon as you come back on, you can click play on the algorithm, and you're exactly at the same point you were whenever you left. You're not going to get a giant dip in views. You're not going to be whatever. You can still use your socials to tell people where you are. You can still upload in the community page, whatever you want. But I love that as an idea. And this, again, it's an idea. There could be flaws I'm not thinking of. You know, I feel like this whole entire video, this is my experience. This is just telling people about my life and things that I have learned. So back to the statement of the title. Why do I believe it's the best thing to ever happen to me? Because I finally got time away to not be mini lad. So cool, I'm gonna go dip. The videos that you've seen me make, I'm literally doing because, like I said, like if you don't upload for like a week or two, you get kicked out of the algorithm. There is no algorithm that I'm currently in. I'm doing this quite merely as a hobby, and also to see if I actually wanted to do this. That's why I did the Craig Thompson second channel videos. I did the hanging off the cliff video and going to the hottest place on earth, Death Valley, because that is content that I would love to do eventually. Like being able to go out and just not only make fun content, but also just have experiences. And that's what I've realized at the end of the day. Who am I? Who is, not many lad, who is Craig? Who the fuck is Craig? And Craig is a guy who likes experiences. So I had time to do the things that I wanted to do without the...
Yeah, who's Mini Lad? Yet it is literally you, Craig. You are Mini Lad. You are simple. You're not... Mini Lad isn't your separate personality or something. Well, except for probably Pablo. But you, Mini Lad, you, Craig, you are Mini Lad. It's not... They're not your separate. You're not two in the same. You are one. You are Mini Lad, aka Craig.
Pressures of having to produce. Because, again, like I said, everything in my life could be something to work towards. That's why I didn't really upload on Instagram at all. I just lived. And I've had the worst and best 2 years of my life. Worst because I had to confront who I was as a person. Who was I? I need to rediscover who that guy was. Because Craig Thompson, died years ago. I needed to find him again. And I finally did. And it took me years. And that's why it's a wild statement, but I honestly believe I would not have been able to find myself in the nature that I have without being torn away from everything. From work, from friends, from everything.
Yeah. Yeah, the friends thing, because technically no one would want to play with a pedophile or upload content with a pedophile. Might have done it off stream, but it would have been done off stream. Out of it. Plus, also, I don't think probably friends would want to be friends with you after what you did.
There's a lot of people who are stronger than me who would admit it, who would have been able to handle it a lot better than I was, but admittedly, I wasn't a strong person. Because I was a machine and not a human, I thought about it from a programmable, not programmable, that's not the right word, from a analytical standpoint compared to a human personal standpoint. In saying all that, I am organically the happiest person I've ever have been in my life. I have great friends around me now. You know, I have me, I have my life. I'm able to do the things that I want. Things that made me happy. I can play guitar and not have to worry about making a feckin' song about it. I've really got into climbing, like bouldering, because that to me just seems fun. It's a fantastic workout. I love working out. I'm a fucking meathead through and through. I'm able to just be me. It's fucking great. But there was one bit of that puzzle that was missing. And I am an artist. I like creating art. I like doing dumb shit. Down to whenever, I remember when I went bald in 2020, I did the, oh my gosh, I'll show you. Like, I remember doing this video. And I remember looking at that, or like the Gamer Boy bathwater that I did. I remember looking at those. I'm like, fuck, that was fun. The process of doing that, setting it up. And I remember like when I was doing the posing one, specifically, I remember looking at them and lining it all up. I remember just dying laughing. I was on Discord with a few people at the time and just crying with laughter at how fucking stupid it was.
Yeah, it was
that was the thing that was
but
missing.
It was also the time when you basically...
So that's kind of why I'm...
I think it was at the same time that you broke up with your ex. And then all the stuff came out about you. So, yeah. It was very fun for you. But it probably turned into a shit show for you after a couple of months.
I'm here today. I am still demonetized. I miss having a creative outlet. And I realized, like, going through my content over the last, you know, I say a few years. I haven't been here the last few years. Going over my content, I realized that a lot of it is just purposeful. Like, it's content for a reason. And what I mean by that is it's very algorithmic. It's very YouTube.
Yeah, and you've been demonetized because YouTube decided to remove your ad revenue, ad censor, or whatever the fuck it was. So technically, you could still get money, but also you could have just used it to actually finance your money carefully instead of buying dumb shit like that stupid fucking giraffe or your son bowling pin or that giant inflatable turkey thing or chicken and the microwave. microwave and instead of buying dumb shit like that, you could have spent like have that to spend with food, water, and bills. But hey, there's also another reason. There's also another thing you can do that can help you gain thing. It's simple. Get a fucking job. Actually apply for an application form for an actual job. You could actually like work with Burger King or McDonald's. But I've heard thinking that they won't allow you back after your actions, so kind of stupid.
No, it is. I did video ideas that I thought would do well compared to video ideas that made me happy. And I can't remember when the last time I made a video that I did it out of the happiness of my soul. And I realized that for a long time, I didn't have a soul because I was a mini lad machine. I wasn't a person. I was, like I said, a content creation machine. So I want to make content that just makes me happy. I do like the reaction stuff. I'm also, you know, your tastes change as you get older. I'm older now, you know, like I've caught up to my age. I'm 27 and, you know, coming 28 next year, where I'm nearly 30, right? So as a near 30-year-old, my tastes are different than what it was when I was 20. That's just the nature of life. So I'm going to make content that I just find fucking fun. I'm going to upload dumb Instagram photos. I'm going to just enjoy the process of just making and doing. I know I'm not making money off of it. That's not the point anymore. Whether it does well, whether it doesn't do well, whatever the fuck. And I also think I want to make like a weekly, not even a podcast series, but just like a way to talk about shit that I like. You know, 30, 45 minutes, whatever's going on in the world. Technically a podcast, but not like a 2-3 hour one. Just like a little bite-sized something.
Yeah, I mean, but you also could have just done, which was simple. Uploaded content for the mature audience, so you wouldn't get the chance to do with kids. Because you are a channel that brings children into your platform. And that's the biggest mistake you did.
You know, I love listening to podcasts. I'm going to just do my own and just have it as a way to be me. Like, I look back at who Mini Lad was, and I'm forever happy that I was able to entertain so many people. So many people. If I never get back to that, it's okay. I've also come to the realization where I had, like, fuck you money for a long time. And that to me is an experience. Like, I've ticked the box. I've done the partying. I've had the house. I've had the cars. I've had whatever. I feel like that's great. I've done that. Like, the whole Mini Lad saga, really. It just doesn't even feel like me. Like, it feels like a really weird dream. And it feels like now I've finally woken up. It's so hard to explain. But that's how I feel. And again, this video is literally just me. It's, in a way, kind of a selfish video, letting you guys know what I've been doing. But I think if you're interested in whatever's been going on, I think it's fair to you. So because of that, I might just change my channel to Craig. Because Mini Lad was the guy who did meme streams and uploaded every day and was just the fucking machine. I don't really want to be the machine anymore. That's Bert Kreischer's thing. Sorry. I want to just be me. And just upload whatever I want. That's just my own thoughts on it. Maybe by the time you're watching this, the channel might already just be Craig. I mean, it's still going to be Mini Lad at the top. And that's never going away, you know. But, you know, I still have all these videos that, for a lot of people, really liked. You know, my channel is still getting a bunch of views, people just watching older videos. So, I'm going to leave that up there, you know. If it makes people happy, then that's the most important thing. But I think it's time for me to be happy. So, that's where I am. I don't really know how to end this. And there's going to be a bunch of stuff that I've missed. And if you've made it this far, I appreciate that. That means a lot. So as far as the statement piece goes, why getting cancer was the best thing to ever happen to me. I found Craig again. Well, that's really it. I'm going to go. I'll see you next week for another Ramble video. I have some editors working for me that are just going to pump out some fun content. I might bring back, like, Ask Mini. You know, I'll just do Ask Craig. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll ask.
Oh, well, if he has any animators, then They should have looked up on what he did, so they could have just avoided him. Similar to that. But at least he's saying like he's doing this, changing his Craig. Yeah, no one gives a shit what you did. No one gives a shit what you're doing.
Questions on my Instagram. I'll leave the link in the description. Am I changing my Instagram name? I don't fucking know. Maybe I might just keep it as mini. I have no idea yet. But that's it. Thank you for watching. This outro was really long. This is the worst for AVD. I don't give a fuck anymore. You have yourself a good day. I can't believe I just recorded this video. Holy shit. Okay, bye.
Yeah, you're recording this shit. Sorry, Billy. I don't believe those things. What you say. What you do is how you did it. And what you did was fucking disgusting. Yeah? That's simple. You did what was fucking disgusting to people. And you, Hannah, let me just remove that. You did what was fucking disgusting. You didn't have the chance to do those. Or if you didn't have the chance to do those things, you would have been happy. Or you would have gone down on the face of YouTube. But then you decided to be like that. And you changed your name to Greg Thompson when there's actually a fucking channel. Oh, where you had a fucking
Be doing
channel.
this, and they got it.
Channel. Literally the same thing. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, you literally
5
had...
YouTubers. Mr. Beast.
Yeah, you literally had a video where you literally had your gaming channel viewed. And if we look over there, look, it's Mini Lad. So, yeah, that's what I call bullshit.
5 YouTubers.
And then you had to upload these content. These 5. Yeah, 5 content. Puts you with reasons. So, no, Mini. We ain't doing that whole shit video thing. Anyway, this is me basically doing the whole ramble thing of this guy is an asshole, shouldn't be on that platform to begin with, and if he's truly sorry, he should have knew what he was doing, which was wrong. Hold on. He should have knew what he was doing, which was wrong to begin with. And he could have just, took the time out to do these things. Yeah, he didn't. He just knew that if he kept uploading, nothing else ever happened. So, this thing was a bunch of shit to begin with. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you like, please share with friends on this live stream, and I will basically I'll see if I can upload more content during this thing. Do not know, but I hope for the best. That's all we ask for. Alright, let me just play something, and that will be it.